Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of How to Climb Out of Silver with Dylan from lolcoach.academy. So I'm playing cho'gath this game into an Aatrox. Now I was the blind pick, so cho'gath has picked Aatrox. Aatrox has picked his champion willingly into me, which I think's really good sign that he's confident in this lane. But also, I'm not, upset about that at all. I'm quite comfortable laning against Aatrox. Now, we can see, obviously, that we've got a Xin Zhao Warwick. I'll get back to my matchup in a second. But we can see a Warwick Xin Zhao. Now, Xin Zhao pre-6 should have a lot more gank potential than Warwick. So, I want to be expecting from a jungle Xin Zhao that he outganks Warwick, and ideally we could even get the first dragon or some really good pressure in terms of counter jungling and invading and roaming together off pre-6. Mid lane, Sylas Zed, it's an interesting one. I think it's a skill matchup mainly. Sylas is definitely the stronger champion, but as we know, a lot of people can't play Sylas properly, so it should be a real interesting one. Bot lane, I think Ezreal Karma just need to play safe and scale, because as we can see, Ezreal has Conqueror. Jhin has fleet footwork, so not too concerned about that, and Ezreal just needs to scale up and become a powerhouse, while Jhin, is pretty much strong throughout all areas of the game. Now, okay guys, so as you can see, I'm playing cho'gath into an Aatrox. Now, Aatrox hasn't really dictated this rune page. It is actually one of the strongest rune pages, I think, for cho'gath at the moment, and given that he got a nice little buff or boost, I guess, to his playstyle. I mean, Glacial Augment, cho'gath has always been super strong. But anyway, so I go Glacial as my primary, Magical Footwear as my secondary, because the boots, free boots, it's cost efficient, plus the additional 10% movement speed's really nice, particularly for cho'gath, who doesn't have the highest base MS. But also with his kit, if you can get that CC, that slow lockdown, then the Magical Footwear, that extra 10 movement speed really just helps out. And he doesn't really need boots in lane. He's tanky enough. He's to, get away and not be punished for no boots until, 10 minutes. And then Biscuit Delivery, just for a bit of a safer lane. I think they're quite good. Cosmic Insight, just for the extra 5% CDR on every single thing, as well as the item CDR. It synergizes really nicely with Glacial Augment cho'gath, because you go Hextech GLP and Twin Shadows, so it's on like a really short cooldown. Particularly when you go Ingenious Hunter with it, which gains, you gain 15% active item CDR plus an additional 5% per bounty. So that works with GLP and Twin Shadows, which, as you'll see, I'll build into both of those. So I go Cheap Shot because, as we know, cho'gath's E slows, also his Q slows, and also given that I'm building two slow active items, that it just makes sense to go Cheap Shot. I think I end up dealing about 2k damage with Cheap Shot in this 40-minute or so game. And then obviously attack speed, just so CSing's a bit easier. Adaptive Force, just for that a bit of base AP that can help you get out of laning phase. And then armor, obviously, because I'm versing Aatrox. Anyway, guys, that's the basic setup. This is what I recommend to play cho'gath, either mid lane or top lane. I think this setup here is the best. It's super troll, super cheesy, and it gives you a really easy win condition. It makes grouping super strong. And it really brings our solo queue ARAMs to the advantage of your team. So anyway, guys, let's get back into the game. Now, I am going to place this ward here. So, a little bit of trouble here. I'm not going to have to do anything awkward. I'm just going to have to back. We do delay the Warwick start, and we now know that he's going red buff, and a really good start there. I'm going to have to TP back to lane, which is a little bit awkward. They might even be doing blue buff. So I've had to TP back to lane, which is fine. I do get a little bit of XP there, not much though, which is a bit sad. Didn't have to burn flash though, which is really nice, and hopefully Xin Zhao gets a nice little gank off there. I notice I'm just using my Q to CS safely, but also if I can somehow poke... Notice how if I can somehow poke the Aatrox as well. There we go. So really nice trade by me. Aatrox again, not respecting at all. So now he's burnt his potion. His one and only potion. And I'll be level 2 off this. And now I am just going to... I'm more than happy for this lane to push in. Which it now isn't because I just... So I'm going to get out here, use my, obviously my biscuit instead of anything else. And just going to play safe because obviously Warwick has the blood scent. Just going to put a ward there. And now this is fine. And I'm not going to get out of that. So really badly played by me. All I had to do there was escape. Definitely underestimated the Aatrox, especially with the Ignite. Didn't show any respect. And I also have my W off Smart Cast, which was a little bit annoying. So always check your... always check that your abilities are all on the right timers now, because this is going to be a really awkward lane. While we're even in CS, he gets all this push lane on him, which is really nice for him. But as we can see, Xin Zhao's doing exactly what I predicted might happen. He should win this. Yeah. So really well played by Xin Zhao. A shame that Zeb was able to get the kill there. Now this lane goes pretty much Aatrox's way in terms of the 1v1. Obviously, I can get some nice sneaky Qs off. But in terms of everything else, I've got to play really safe. Again, just trying to take farm and, you know, not push the wave as much as possible. So nice combo by Aatrox. Again, I'm just trying to stay in CS and XP range at this point in the game. Notice I'm putting my Qs on the edge so that I just push one minion instead of all of them. And notice I'm just going to stay here because Warwick's now bot side and Aatrox doesn't know if I'm in here or not. And he can run me down now if I'm not careful. So then I'm just going to retreat back to here. Obviously, I could go for that CS and that CS as well. But I'm happy for this wave to push in. I'm happy to eat shit for a little bit in order to get this wave back in a really good spot for me. So that's just patience. Nothing crazy. Just a bit of patience here. Obviously, respecting this guy. That's a good combo by him. Again, well played by him. I'm going to control ward just behind me. He's got his Aatrox combo down, which is actually really well played. He could even go for a gank here, so I mean a kill here. So I got to be really respectful of him. And just try and heal up as much as possible. So well played by him. Played that really badly, and now I miss out on all this CS. So this lane is going really bad. At the moment, I've now lost all that CS. I'm 2 levels behind, and I am big CS deficit. But I don't think the game's over. Xin Zhao's kind of doing okay. Obviously, Aatrox has got a really nice push on this wave now. Don't worry about it. Xin Zhao's tried to help me. This lane loss is purely my fault, so I'm okay with it for now. Hopefully I can get 6 before he gets back. Obviously just trying to CS here. Missed that, which is a bit annoying. But hopefully I can get 6. And I might even push this just so I can get 6 safely. Because who knows if I'm going to be able to get it. Once once Aatrox comes back in the lane. So I'm going to let that go. I'm going to try and help out this invading if possible, or this counter jungling I should say. by putting my control ward there. Gonna look here because there's nothing really else on. Aatrox wants to freeze, which is fine. I show, so hopefully Aatrox starts pushing. Perfect. So I get the wave reset. Even though I showed mid, that was kind of a secondary intention that Aatrox will now push the wave because he knows I'm not there. So he's trying to stop me, obviously, from getting CS. And then we got to watch that. And so my little pressure there, while it didn't exactly let Silas roam, it gave him an opportunity to roam if he wanted to. So just like a nice little thing, if you're getting frozen in your lane, the best thing to do is just leave. Try and do something on the other side of the map, because I guarantee as soon as you show, your laner is just going to back and play completely, you know, try and get a reset or something like that. Now I'm going to push this in. Obviously now I also have free farm, which is really nice for me. Notice how I'm just using... So I'm in trouble here. That's okay. So just back. As long as he gets out. That's annoying. Yeah, so my bad there. Definitely played that way too aggressive. And way too greedy on this. So if my whole team dies here, it's really my fault. But yeah, that's completely my bad there. I should say sorry to them, actually. I'm just going to TP here to help him out a bit. So well played by them, again. I did not think Warwick had the ult there. But these guys are actually playing this really well. This could be a nice turn, never mind. They're playing that very well. So I'm just going to walk back. I might actually try and defend this if I can. Ooh, very close to Blitz dying there. I'm just going to defend this because mid isn't really... I mean, sorry, top isn't really a lane to push. So I'm just going to soak that, obviously, because I don't want to verse this Aatrox, number one. But also because it's the most efficient use of my time. And now Aatrox is 4-1, so obviously I definitely can't fight him. Which has kind of been my goal this entire game, but I definitely haven't played to it. So this is like a game where you try and play to your win conditions, but you don't actually respect the enemy. And now we're kind of losing on most areas of the map. So I could assume that Aatrox might even be there. So I've got to play super cautious now. Ideally, this is risky. So what I'm doing right now is super risky, but I'm assuming cause Aatrox is 4-1, he's almost definitely backed here. So I'm taking a little bit of greed here in order to try and get back into the game, or at least deny him a bit of CS, because now at least we're even on CS. And also I want to do this because even if Aatrox kills me here, at least I'm taking the pressure off mid lane. So Aatrox isn't, you know, trying to roam mid and get a kill on him. It's just me having to tank all the problems that are happening because of my, you know, lane loss. Now I'm going to just ping miss. Never mind. So usually I like to ping miss as soon as I see that creep wave and if my enemy's there or not. But in that situation, obviously the Aatrox was still there. So this could be a nice little fight, depending if Xin Zhao wants to come. The Aatrox is now super confident. So really well played by Xin Zhao. And that's how you get back into the game. So I was 0-4, guys. I didn't tilt. I knew I played it bad. I owned the tilt. I owned the bad play. And the good thing is, you know, Aatrox doesn't have TP. So while we lost Dragon for that, we could actually get Rift Herald if we want. I'm rotating as well. This is actually really well played by my mid laner and my jungler. I'm going to clear this ward. We can take this if we want. I'm not sure if we want to, though. I'm going to start it anyway, just in case. Because Aatrox will probably go back into top lane, and then Xin Zhao can help with this, hopefully. And so this is obviously, I could have pushed top, but what I'm trying to think here is, okay, can I get more value trying to do this Rift Herald? If yes, beautiful. I'm going to do it. Now, I got to be very cautious now because this Aatrox can definitely turret dive me if I'm not careful here. So ideally, I would have wanted to get a back timer off before he pushes this, but because he's pushed it, I'm just going to have to play safe here. Obviously, they've got a 4-man bot now. Maybe even a 5-man. No, never mind. And notice how I'm using my feast stacks purely to make sure that I just get enough health. So the more health I have, the safer I am against this Aatrox who's gone Swifties. And I'm just leaving that lane like that because I'm worried. I don't know where Aatrox is. Obviously, I don't have a buy yet. That's the incorrect buy. But I don't know where Aatrox is. I gotta ping the miss. Okay, never mind. He's just walked back. So he didn't actually... I think he bought a Kindle gem, but besides that, he didn't do that much there. And again, I don't lose too much here. I lose, you know, more than Aatrox does, obviously. But it's what I have to do when you're eating shit. You just have to give ground and respect. So I'm going to try and ward here because I know Aatrox is miss. And I've got flash, so at least I'm kind of safe here. But I don't know where he is. If he's here, I'm going to try and help my team. Obviously. It's a shame we didn't get the Rift so that we could use it to get some turret platings. That's generally how I like to get Rift Heralds. That's why I kind of force it early. And I'm just happy with this. I'm staying kind of close in CS. Obviously, I'm behind in terms of XP. But I'm going to follow here now. So hopefully they get the message. Okay, Aatrox is coming. Oh, I see. I notice how I immediately start trying to match that. But if it's not on, so if my team reacts, I'm just going to back here. I'm sorry, I'm just going to push that and then again look for a rotate. So they cleared my control ward, but I still have another one. So I might even look to come here now. Obviously putting my control ward down so that if they do have vision of me, at least I'm aware of it. And so again, I'm just going to walk back. I don't have to clear that ward. Xin Zhao can clear that ward if he wants. And I'm just going to go back. And notice how even though I'm losing lane, I've accepted that. And what I'm trying to do is try and influence other lanes while not losing anything myself or not losing too much myself. So again, I don't know where he is, but because I have TP advantage now, I should be pushing this in and trying to make him lose a bit of CS now whenever I can. So now this is how you play a losing lane. You never want to face Aatrox in lane. And notice how I'm now resetting the waves so that I never actually have to face this Aatrox. That's what you're meant to do, and obviously it's easier said than done, but you can see here how even from behind, I'm able to just push the lane and leave so that the wave's always crashing into my lane, and I never have to deal with the Aatrox. Because as we can see, these guys have to be very careful. And now I've got a little bit of a power spike, but I still can't really 1v1 this Aatrox. He's not going to get this turret here. I don't think he really understands turret damage. And at least we got bot turret for that. So I'm just going to use this little creep here to try and delay my wave pushing. So really well played by the Aatrox, but now I'm just gonna rotate. But I shouldn't have TP'd there. That was way too aggressive by me. And now ideally, if we can get a pick here, I won't be able to get there in time. But really well played by the Aatrox to cancel my TP. Super smart by him, obviously. And now I'm just going to play dumb to him, but obviously he now has to respect me. So that's fine for me. Burning Flash for Aatrox's Flash, I'm okay with that. It's a bit of a shame that the rest of our team isn't really going according to plan. I should be able to defend this pretty okay. I could actually go in there for a sneaky little play there, but happy with just doing what I'm doing for now. And if he goes for the turret dive, I have the GLP. That's really going to help, obviously, defend against him. So there we go, super happy with how that went. I could even go round here, but obviously I'm not going to. I'm just going to push this wave. And now I've got to be cautious that Zeg could be coming. There he is. So now I'm going to walk away. And just go here. So Zed does have kill potential on me, so I really just got to give this turret. Actually, I might stay here. So I die for that, but I mean, I think it's kind of worth given that he's 5 and 3, I'm 1 and 5, so obviously I was trying to play around my turret there, and I was actually thinking that my turret would survive a little bit longer than that, but it didn't, so I had to quickly improvise going, I'm probably going to die here, what can I get at least for my death? And, you know, it's not the best. I don't encourage those kind of trays because they're really risky, particularly when you're quite far behind. But, I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles. You got to make do with your mistakes sometimes and just try and play through them. So I can go here now, obviously. Or I can go mid. Or I can go mid. I don't really mind. I can go anywhere. But yeah, once I have... We can fight this if I get there in time. So as long as Ezreal gets out here, I think we're okay. Yeah, that's not good. We can now fight. So this is Cho'gath's big power spike when you're going glacial. We can actually fight this depending how safe or how long Sylas can survive. So this is the Cho'gath power spike, if you would call it that. It's just, you know, you just brute force. And now we get this, so really well played. Obviously. But see, that's the power of Cho. Really, what I should have done in laning phase is just understood that I am most powerful in those kind of situations where once I've got the 2-item power spike with Glacial, our team fights are just super incredible. And that's how I should have played this early game out. I shouldn't have tried to, you know, go crazy from the start and just completely disrespect my opponent, which I did. So again, I can match any lane here because we've got TP advantage. So I can always roam whenever. And I've also got these, which means I can pretty much chase anyone down here. So again, this fight is okay. Again, I'm just getting feast stacks. Obviously, cho'gath doesn't need the kills, but the feast stacks are just so good that it's worth it. And this is where Glacial cho'gath, and the reason why I'm so excited that he got buffed last patch. Again, I'm rotating here, but this is pretty risky. Perfect. So I flashed there just to get the GLP. We don't need to push this. Ezreal can get one shot by that, and I'm just going to try and get this tier 1 while they've got a lot of death timers. And now there's a lot of questions on what I should build next, but because I'm a bit worried that we might not be tanky enough, I'm thinking of going either a Gargoyles or maybe even like a Righteous Glory or something. But for now, I'm just going to build that. Obviously, I've got 2.6k. I can match this because I've got TP, just letting my team know. So you don't need to type, just let them know. Obviously, I don't think we actually want this, but I think we're going to go for it just because the Blitz hook is actually really strong in these kind of situations. So, again, we don't need to do the Baron. Possible. See, notice how I'm playing a top laner, but I'm not just perma-split pushing, because I know it's not my win con. I'm going to release my Twin Shadows, just to make sure. Notice how I'm just tanking as long as possible. But ideally, that's not a good fight for us. And I think that's mainly because Xin and I started Dragon a bit too early. But hopefully they go for Baron here rather than getting inhib. That's what we really want to hope for that they go for here. Because then we can maybe even contest it. But I much rather in this situation them get Baron than take an inhib down off us. Not the ideal fight, and obviously you can see I still get shredded quite a bit. And I took 500 damage from Dragon, which isn't ideal. Even with this much health, still pretty kind of squishy, or relatively squishy. So I think I'm going to have to go more armor as well this game. Maybe a Deadman's, or maybe even a Knight's Vow to help out one of my team. Even. Because right now I'm just a CC bot, and if I can't, you know, if we can't get kills off my entire CC combo, we've got a problem in that, you know, we don't know really another win con in terms of 5v5s. Obviously, I can try the split pushing route, but because Aatrox actually beats me in the 1v1, and theoretically a couple of their champions actually do, we need to be quite careful with that. Waste Baron. So again, that's a bit of a shame there, that now we have to make sure we're defending this. So again, we can still defend this. Again, notice that we can just, or as long as we defend this. So notice how I'm just staying in front of Ezreal. Happy to tank all this damage. And obviously be careful that they could be in here. But again, this is fine. We lost tier 2, I think we had 2 deaths for 1, so not the best. But besides that, they don't get actually much off this Baron. So I'm going to rotate here. And really nice pick with Dragon up. Obviously, with that up, I've got TP so I can match the Zed. If he does go, which he's not going for. So I'm just going to TP over because I know the Zed's here. Perfect. So that's me stay bot. Because I've got 4k health, so obviously Zed can kill me, but it's going to take a lot longer for him to kill me than, let's say, an Ezreal or a Sylas, and I don't really have to outplay, I just have to run away, whereas for Sylas to try and get a kill, or at least run away from a Zed, he's going to have to outplay him pretty badly. So again, now I always go for the rotate. I'm completely fine with if the 7/7 cho'gath is keeping a 14/5 Zed from your enemy team, from your allies, I think that's worth it in pretty much every single game scenario. Ah, they're doing that? That's a bit of a shame. And now I can't actually help here, so I'm hoping my team, because we will lose inhib, but we now know Zed's coming. And so they are going to get run down. Hopefully I can get there in time. An enemy has been slain. And now I've got that, and now I'm just going to build probably, I might even build a Warmogs, I'm not sure. I have 219 armor, which is pretty good. 69% reduced damage. Obviously, they've got a bit of penetration here, so health can sometimes be a lot more optimal, particularly against people like Zed, where they're electrocute. And obviously, we want this next dragon fight. And again, I'm okay to get flashed on here. And notice how I'm walking with my Xin to protect him and to make sure that we can get the vision that we need. Perfect. So really well played by me. Obviously, I took the majority of the damage there. And now we get the Infernal. I'm going to back because I've got TP, so I can... Actually, I don't even need to back. I think I can just take these. Heal up quite a nice. And now I've got this up. And we've pretty much got our win con there. Infernal Soul is definitely a win con for this. We don't need to be doing that, which is a little bit random, but I mean, it's not going to change the outcome. Obviously, we can just run this Jhin down as soon as we see him, if he comes back. And we could just back, or let's reset. So I'm actually okay with dying to that, because again, Zed wastes his ulti on me, which makes him pretty much useless against the rest of my team. So definitely way too aggressive by me. We got to care for Zed. Obviously, we still need to respect the Zed as much as possible. 42-minute game. This is not what you want, really, but at least we've got Dragon Soul, Infernal, which is nice. I'm going to go that. I can obviously TP. Again, I match. I've got TP. So I'm okay with Zed trying to match me here. And now I just walk. I straight away walk because if I don't have to use TP, that's optimal. But also I don't want to have to TP commit here until I see Zed. So I'm going to TP because I can see Zed now. And use my... And there we go. So really well played. I mean, the Zed can't really split push. And that's fine. GG, well played. So, 42-minute game. My early game was atrocious. Look, notice though how I didn't tilt. I accepted that I was playing so bad and not respecting the Aatrox. And I was able to bring the game back. And I think, you know... Obviously, I hope most of you will watch Voibo's video. This is part of the reason a lot of people soft int is that they lose their early game and forget that they actually win late game as long as they just stick their head in, focus up on what they have to do, and just play out the game and see where it goes. As long as you have a strong mental, games like this aren't actually a loss, they're a victory, and that could have easily been a loss if I just gave up to the Aatrox. I'm going to give that to Silas because he played really well. Xin Zhao did as well, but Silas really got us through the mid to late game, and obviously I got promoted to Silver 2. Really happy with my damage. I out-damaged an Aatrox, even though I was building tanky. So super happy with that. Runes were nice. Slowed enemies, 42 seconds. Total damage from Cheap Shot really nicely. And obviously this is for the cooldowns on your Twin Shadows and GLP. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that game. And please, if you haven't already, go to my site, lolcoach.academy. Sign up for your free profile review, and also please subscribe to my channel if you liked this video. Please give it a like and let me know what champion you want me to play next in the comments below. Thanks, guys. Good luck on the Rift, and I hope to see you on my next video.